Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a little while since I actually did a video, but I missed it, and there's been a few things going on which have meant that I haven't either really been in the mood to film, or when I have filmed something I've just gone, oh no, don't like that. But we're doing this today, this is going up, and we're doing good. So yes, today's video, as you can probably tell by the title, I'm pregnant. It still feels really weird to say that out loud. Yeah, we are having our first baby. The day that I'm filming this, I'm actually 16 weeks, so I've been meaning to film this for the past 4 weeks, and did it once and just didn't like it, so it just never surfaced. But yeah, I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby. Still very, very strange to say that, so yeah. But no, I wanted to do this video and just like combine it with like basically have like FAQs, so the questions that I've been getting like asked whenever I've told people that I am pregnant, but also kind of talking you through my first trimester experience as well. I do want to do more like pregnancy themed videos. I'm still going to do like normal type of videos that I do anyway, like beauty and style and stuff. I mean, style's going to be a little bit more interesting because I'm still trying to like figure out what the hell fits me or like what I can and can't wear right now. But yeah, we'll still be doing like normal videos, but there will definitely be some more like pregnancy style videos coming through, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, but that's what I thought we would do today. We would just talk about the pregnancy so far. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you have any more questions around pregnancy or anything else that I talk about, just pop them in the comments below. But yeah, without further ado, let's do it. Okay, so let's start with FAQs. So the questions that I have been asked most frequently when I've told people that I am now pregnant and having a child. Some of the questions are obviously like around symptoms and stuff, so I'll leave that to like the first trimester section of this video, and I'll put like a timestamp as well so you can see if you want to start watching that. But yeah, these are just like the normal kind of asked questions. So I mean, the main one is usually, was it planned? Which, yes. Oh, it's really awkward to talk about. I'm sat here and I'm like, I don't even know how to talk about half of this stuff. It's really weird. It's not like I haven't been like planning it forever, but you know. Yes, baby was 100% planned. We have been actually trying to have a baby for 2.5 years. We started trying July 2017. Obviously we have had some issues along the way, and that is something that I am going to be sharing more about on here and on my blog and everything, because I do feel like it's really, really important to talk about like fertility issues and share those stories, because it's a very kind of like isolating, lonely time when you're going through it and you don't know anybody else that's been going through it or has gone through it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be sharing that side of the story as well. But yeah, baby was very, very much planned. We went through a few different things, a couple of different treatments, and yeah, baby's actually an IVF baby. First round of IVF, so we feel very, very lucky about the fact that it was first round. We were not expecting that. Yeah, so yeah, very much planned. Had to have a little bit of help, which is fine. Yeah, very, very, very excited. The month the baby's actually due will make it 3 years since we started trying. So it's been a long 3 years. It's been a very long 3 years. When is baby due? Baby is due on the 24th of July. So we got that date from the fertility clinic. We got a different date when we went for our 12-week scan. They gave it like a week earlier, I think. And when we said to them, we were like, oh, how does that work with like the date we were given from like the clinic, because it's an IVF baby. They obviously hadn't read my notes properly, and they were like, oh no, take the date from like your IVF, because obviously when they do that they know exactly when they're like putting the stuff together. So the date that we've got from the clinic is more accurate than the date we've gotten from like the scan. Saying that, baby is obviously like a week bigger than, or measuring a week bigger than it should be, so I'm gonna have a slightly big baby, which is, I was expecting, because my husband was 9 pound and I was quite big as well, so yeah, looking forward to that part. How did we find out? So I mean, obviously a lot of people who find out that they're pregnant naturally, excuse me 1 second, oh, so itchy. Yeah, so a lot of people who naturally conceive like a trying or anything, they usually find out because they've either started to see symptoms, or they're late, or they kind of know when they ovulate, so they know when they take the test. We were given a date by the fertility clinic that we had to take our test, so it is 12 days after implantation. So the my eggs were extracted on the 1st of November, which is when they like put everything together. The embryo was then reimplanted on the 6th of November, and then you take the test 12 days later. So we took the test on the 18th of November. By that point I was starting to feel a few things, and I think I thought I was. But again, because of IVF, I was also on additional progesterone pessaries, which the symptoms of those mimic early pregnancy as well. So half of me was like, I definitely think I am pregnant, like I just have this feeling, and the other half of me was like, no, it's just the symptoms from what you're taking. So it was very, very weird. But yeah, we took the test on the 18th of November. That was the date we were told to take it, first wee of the day. Not surprisingly, neither of us slept very well the night before. We took it together, which is the first time we've done that. Usually when I take a test, even for like other treatments that I've done, I've wanted to do it without him so that I could then tell him in like a really fun way, but I think because this just felt like there was so much riding on it, it was more pressure. I was just like, I just needed him there as a support in case it wasn't what I wanted it to be. So yes, we took it together. Literally, I went and peed on the stick, came back to bed because it was a Monday morning. Like, stick was upside down on the bed, and we were just both sat there in silence watching the timer go. I don't think we've ever sat that silently together without the TV on. It was very strange, and then yeah, then we kind of, obviously time went off, it was positive. Yeah, it was the best moment of my entire life. Like, his reaction where I just cried my eyes out, he was cheering, we were hugging, we were just, I think it was just so surreal for us because we've had so many negative tests. I was just like, I can't take another bloody negative, and I was looking at like, that's positive, I've never had one of those before. Yeah, I think to be honest, we weren't really expecting the first round of IVF to work. We hoped. And the timing of it all was like so perfect as well because it was over our birthdays and everything. So yeah, that's how we found out basically. But yeah, it was a Monday morning, so it was essentially like, take the test, have a little hug, go to work. What other questions have people asked me? Oh, are we going to find out what we're having? No. We have always said we wouldn't. We wanted to leave it as a surprise, and I think especially now that we've gone through like everything that we've been through to get to this point, we're just like, no, we want to leave it as like a really lovely surprise. I was like, give me something to push for at the end of it. But it's really weird, like I've started going to like antenatal classes, aquanatal even, sorry, the swimming ones, and like everybody else in that group, it's a very small group, everybody else knows what they're having. And I'm just there like, nah, I'm not finding out. When I said to my midwife, she was like, oh, that's so lovely, everybody else wants to know. So everybody that we say, no, we don't want to know to, they're just like, oh, that's so lovely. Especially like the older generation, they think it's really lovely, because I think a lot of people do find out now. My brother and his girlfriend, they're having a baby in October, they found out. So there's nothing wrong with finding out at all. We just said like, you know what, we want to keep it really like, we just don't want to know. We do not care what we're having. We are just happy as long as baby is happy and healthy, and you know, it doesn't cause too much damage. And yeah, we do not care. So we're like, no, we don't want to know. We just want to like, we want to have that like lovely moment once it gets there. So yeah, we're not finding out. I think that's all like the main FAQs. A lot of the other ones that we've had are things around like symptoms, so I'll come on to that in a second, and also work-wise. So what am I doing about maternity leave? Am I going to go back to work? All of that. I mean, that stuff I can't really go into or answer. Whenever I think about maternity leave, I get so stressed about it because like between me and Adam, I do earn more, so me being off and just getting maternity pay is going to be quite a big hit for us. We're planning for it and we're going to be fine. We know we're going to be fine. But until like I've sat down with my HR and we've planned it all out and we know like they put together like a payroll calendar for me, so I can see exactly what I'm going to be getting, when I'm getting it, when like everything changes. So that's going to be really helpful, and then we can obviously decide what we want to do there. I accrue all of like my holiday and stuff, so I'm going to take that on the end too. But yeah, it's so undecided right now. I will probably go off about 2 weeks before I'm due. I'm leaving it quite late because I work from home anyway, so it's not like I have to go into an office or anything like that, so I should be fine. And yeah, in terms of going back to work, I'm always going to go back to work. That's never a question for me. Like, I've worked so hard for so long on my like education and my career and everything. There is no way that I am not going to go back. So I will be going back to work. In terms of like how I go back to work, don't know yet. It will depend on like, I'll have that conversation when we get to that point. So yes. And like, yeah, lots of people ask about like what we're going to do when we go back to work with baby and stuff. Like, again, it's a long way off yet, so it's like we have thoughts and we've got like ideas and stuff. Like, we don't like to assume anything, but yeah, it will probably be a mix of different things. Okay, so moving on to first trimester symptoms and how I felt, my experience, everything like that. There's always loads of questions about this. The biggest one has always been like, oh, were you really, really sick? So I will start with that one first. No. I feel like I'm one of the lucky ones where I think I've only thrown up twice since I've been pregnant, and both of those have been second trimester. And one of those I was actually ill. So no, I have been very, very lucky in terms of sickness. I've had nausea and like waves of nausea, but they're usually caused by something. So it was usually like being in a car. I really didn't enjoy being in a car at all. Like, driving it didn't even help. Like, there's a route that we take to Adam's parents' house, and one of the roads is like an A road, but it's also like a country road, and goes on to like an even more kind of like country-ish road, and we had to find another way to drive to theirs for a few weeks because I was like, I can't deal with that road, like it makes me feel so ill. And also, so yeah, so driving was like a big one in terms of like making me feel quite nauseous. That's like subsided now, which is great. And then the other one was smells. So there were certain kind of like, oh, I say certain smells. I could be cooking something and just be suddenly like, no, we don't like that, we don't like that. I remember I was like cutting an avocado at one point and the son was just like, no, I can't deal with that. But the smell of alcohol was quite a big one as well for me. Again, it's fine now. Like, I'll smell it and just be a bit like, no, I don't like that. But it doesn't make me feel sick now. But first trimester, it was a definite one. I remember we went around to Adam's grandparents, it's just before Christmas, and he had like a glass of brandy in front of him and I was sat next to him and I was like, you need to move that to the other side of the table, I can't deal with that, that's horrible. Or he'd be sat next to me, so with a glass of wine or something, and I'd be like, can you move that to the other end, because I can't deal with that smell. So yeah, the smell of alcohol was not good, and driving was not good. So yeah, I would just get waves of it, but generally I felt okay from like a nauseous point of view, so I feel very, very lucky about that. And touch wood, that continues. The main symptoms I kind of had through my first trimester was very much tiredness, which I know a lot of people get. I was very, very tired, like 9 times out of 10. By the time Adam came home from work, I was curled up on the sofa like half asleep. I think there was a period of like a week or so where I just wanted to, like, by 2:30, 3 o'clock, I was just like, I need to take a nap. Like, I was falling asleep at my desk and I was like, this isn't good. Yeah, I was just very, very tired. I'm not so bad now. I still get like, there are days where I'm just like, yesterday for example, I finished work and I was just like, I'm really tired. Or if we have like a long day doing something, like the next day I'm pretty much like, I'm just too tired now, I can't deal with this. But the first trimester was a lot worse. I was very, very tired. I wasn't sleeping very well. Yeah, it was just very, very sleepy. And then headaches were a big one for me as well, especially over Christmas and New Year. I was just getting really, really bad headaches. and it would literally be a case of like I need to go and lie down in a dark room where there's no noise. I can't even look at like my phone. And I remember like New Year's Day we always go to one of Adam's grandparents for like a nice meal, like lunch and like roast and everything. Like every year we go to theirs on New Year's Day, and I didn't go this year because like my head was just so bad. And I think the reason it was so bad over Christmas and New Year's because there was so much going on, so I probably was just like overdid it. I was overtired. Like Christmas Day I went out for a nap. Same with Boxing Day, like it got to like food like in the evenings and I was just like, I'm done, I need to go and have a nap, please let me go and sleep. Obviously everybody's super understanding, which is lovely, but yeah, the headaches were a big thing. Oh, apparently itchy nipples is a new thing. Other symptoms, so for me, this isn't like for everybody, I think this is because IVF. I had like a little bit of a bump quite early on, and that was mainly because my ovaries were still really swollen. And I remember when we went for like our 6-week scan, because they give you early scans for IVF as well, we went for our 6-week scan and the lady was like, yeah, your right ovary is about 3 times the size it should be and your left ovary is about twice the size it should be, but that's fine, that's normal. And that's why I looked pregnant before I should have looked pregnant, and that was mainly because my ovaries were swollen. But because of that, my jeans stopped fitting. I was like, no, not my jeans. And there was like a few things I was like, can't wear this anymore, can't wear this anymore. And it wasn't because I had a baby bump, it's because I had an ovary bump. And I was just like, oh, this is so annoying. Now that I have like more of a baby bump, I'm just like, this is fine, I can deal with this, this is good. But beforehand I was like, this is really annoying. And yeah, I was looking pregnant before I should have looked pregnant because of that. But also because of the swollen ovaries, I was getting pains like in each side, like where the ovary was, mainly on my right side because that was the most swollen one. And it would normally be like if I was lying in bed and I just kind of like rolled onto my right side or something, I would just get like a really sharp sudden pain, and it would just be like it would just be like, oh, that hurts so much. And to begin with I was a bit like, oh my god, what is this? But after like I spoke to somebody, they were like, no, it's your ovaries, it's not anything wrong. I was like, oh, okay, fine. I felt a bit better after that, but that was a little bit scary. But I mean, that started happening just before I went for my 6-week scan, and then they told me at the 6-week scan it was my ovaries, so I was like, okay, I'm just not going to worry about it then. And it didn't last for much longer after that. I think that kind of pain lasted maybe 2 weeks. But yeah, that was not fun. Did not enjoy that at all. And TMI time, but during that time when I was still on the pessaries, because I was on the progesterone pessaries up until about 10 weeks, so they kind of try and mimic what the placenta is meant to be doing until it kind of really kicks in. Because of that, I was a little bit stopped up for a while. My bowel movements were not as regular as they were before, and that then obviously kind of makes you feel more uncomfortable, a little bit more pain, a little bit more bloated. So yes, I probably looked bigger at the very beginning of my pregnancy than I do now. No, that's not true. I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to put a picture up. This is the day that the eggs were reimplanted, and this just kind of showed how swollen like the ovaries were. Because I sent this picture to like my friend and she ended up going, you look like you're 7 months pregnant at this point. I was like, thanks, thanks for that. And I was like, I'm not, I am 1 day pregnant. So it just kind of shows like how swollen you do get. And yeah, that was very much like an IVF thing more than like a pregnancy thing, but if you are doing like the same thing, it's just something to keep in mind that that is completely normal. My skincare kind of had to change a bit because my skin was going very, very dry and very, very dull. And I was getting like a lot of spots, not necessarily where I thought I would get them. I got a lot of spots on my back and I'm still getting those. But I was getting more than usual a lot across my face, so I had to like kind of change up my skincare routine a little bit to more like hydrating products. And I also bought one of those Foreo mini Luna thingies to kind of really help do like a deep clean, and that's like massively helped. So I've kind of sorted the skincare bit out now, and obviously I'm in my 2nd trimester, so I'm hoping I'm going to get to that like lovely glowy skin pregnancy phase. But yeah, my skin went very dry, very spotty on my back. My hair, it gets greasy so quickly now, which is a whole new one for me, and also a really annoying one for me, because I used to be able to go like a week without washing my hair and I'd be fine. Now it's like 4 days. It's really annoying. So yeah, it's getting greasy a lot quicker. And I didn't think I was getting the whole, you know, it's getting thicker, like not falling out phase, but obviously I'm just going into second trimester, and when I spoke to my hairdresser at the weekend, I just saw her, she was like, no, it's definitely thicker. She was like, and not a lot is coming out, so I think you're getting to that point. And I was like, okay, that makes me feel a bit better. But yeah, it's getting greasy and oily a lot quicker than it ever has done before, which is really annoying. Hair growth. Not necessarily my my head hair. Hair everywhere else on my body was growing, still is growing, a lot quicker than it has done before, which is really, really annoying. Especially the stuff on my face. I was getting that waxed sort of every 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not doing that now because it's growing so quickly. I would literally have to go every week and it would kill my skin to do it. So I'm just like, great, this is fun. And hair in other places, it usually gets to a certain point and stops, you know? It doesn't do that now. It just carries on going. So there's a lot of like bodily hair maintenance happening right now, which is again really annoying, but is what it is. It's fine. I can deal with it. And then cravings and aversions people ask me about a lot. I would not say that I've had any consistent cravings, and like me and Adam say that a lot. We're like, there's not been anything that's been like, I want this all the time, I want this. I would say early on, baby was like, wanted more like salady stuff. It really wanted cucumber, and like it just really wanted salads a lot of the time. If I was ordering in, I'd get like a Subway salad sort of thing. Like it was just, that's just what baby really wanted. It wanted like light, kind of watery stuff, and I was drinking a lot of water as well. I was really bad at how much water I drank before, to be fair, so I upped that a lot, and literally all baby wants to drink is water and milk, to be honest. That's all I ever want to drink. And like cravings wise, it's just been like little things, like I really fancy this or I fancy this. One point it was Baby Bells, one point it was cucumber and Baby Bells. I made like a little cucumber Baby Bell sandwich, which was amazing. It was just 2 bits of cucumber with Baby Bell in the middle. It was perfect. Bless, my mother-in-law then bought like a load of Baby Bells, and I was like, yeah, I'm not that into them anymore, which I felt really bad about. But yeah, it was just came in like waves of lots of different things. It's not really been anything sweet. Banana. Banana seems to be something that baby's decided it really likes the sound of, and I hate bananas. So this is an ongoing battle. We're still having this in a monologue. I've made some concessions. We had banana bread. My brother's girlfriend brought it round with a load of chocolate chips in it, because she was like, I know you've been craving banana but you don't like it, so I made you a banana bread with loads of chocolate chips, and that was really nice. We enjoyed that. Banoffee pie, I drew the line at because I hate banoffee pie. Actual bananas I draw the line at, banana milkshakes I draw the line at, but I have been having a strawberry and banana smoothie from Innocent, which I do really like. So yeah, banana has been a big thing that it just kind of likes, and I think is continually craving that because I'm not giving it to it, because I just don't like banana. I'm just like, no, you can't have everything you want, child, no. So yeah, there is that. And like I said, with drinks, it just wants water and milk. Basically, that's the only thing it wants to drink 90% of the time. That's all it wants. Like over Christmas, everybody got in like all of these really nice non-alcoholic drinks, like Fizzy Schler and like non-alcoholic Prosecco and stuff. And I was like, I just want water. That's all I want. So yeah, there's that. Aversions, coffee. So I only had decaf coffee anyway, because that's all you were supposed to have for treatment and stuff, so that's all I had. Just doesn't like coffee. Aversion, yeah, coffee, doesn't like coffee anymore. And if I do have a coffee, it's a milky coffee now, and I would usually just have black coffee, so that's a whole new sensation for me, which is very, very strange. I can't really have Domino's now, just because it just doesn't agree with me anymore. Like, I mean, it's not that it agreed with me like a lot in the first place. I would have it and then I'd have a little bit of trouble in terms of like bowel movements and things, but it was fine. I've had it a couple of times through pregnancy and it's been horrendous, so I've just been like, it's just not worth it. I really miss Domino's, but it's just not worth it. What else? Avocado, I really didn't want avocado. I was just like, goodbye avocado. And like my mum's like, it's probably craving banana because it wants potassium, have avocado instead. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like avocado anymore, so I can't have that. Just like, damn it. Yeah, there's not an awful lot that baby's been like, oh, curries. It's not a massive fan. There's a curry that I make that like I've loved for ages and ages and ages. Like it's one of my favourite things to cook and eat, and baby didn't like it, so I don't do that anymore, which is fine. Yeah. Oh, the only other thing I would say, although this is more of like a recent thing, if I make something with like a load of rice and chicken and stuff, like a paella or a risotto or something like that, I will generally eat around the chicken. I won't really eat the chicken. I don't think baby's a big fan of actual chicken, which is weird. Oh, the only other symptom I haven't mentioned is my boobs. They were very painful right at the beginning, which they generally are. I know that was the first symptom my best friend got as well. They were very, very painful, and they grew very quickly at the beginning. And I've gone up 2 cup sizes already, so that's fun. They're not necessarily painful now, they're just itchy all the time. So, but yeah, they were very painful to begin with. Like the first half of the first trimester, they were quite painful. The second half, they've just been more like growing and itchy than anything else. So yeah, that's been fun. Yeah, so I think that's it. That's it. So yeah, those are like a lot of the questions I've been asked. If you have any more, pop them below. If you have any questions about or like requests about the fertility side of things, please put them below as well. I am going to do full videos. I did video diaries of like all the treatment that we've had, so those will be going up. I'm kind of like in a very slow process of editing them because it's like, it's quite an emotional thing to be doing. I have to keep taking breaks from it because I just can't do it all in one go, but they will be coming. If you have any requests for pregnancy videos, like baby names we love but won't be using, we do have our baby names, by the way, but I'm not going to put them on here. Like most people know them, but still not going to put them on here. But yeah, baby names we love we won't be using. Any hauls, nursery, like anything like that, let me know if you want to see it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, any requests, like I said, pop them below. Otherwise, I will see you all very soon.